Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ryan Ride Mechanic channel. How the heck are you doing today? Alright, today's video, I invited a couple friends over and we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff, and it's some pretty interesting topics, so I think you should hang around, check it out, hear what we have to say. Let's get right into this Maintenance Roundtable 3.
Now get ready, here we go.
I think we'll go around and we'll start with our names. Let's start with ladies first.
I'm Jen. I'm a current ride mechanic at a park in Southern California, and I have been a ride mechanic since 2007.
Okay.
I'm Bo. I'm a ride mechanic in Pennsylvania, and I've been that for about 6 months now.
Okay. That's good. Nice new start to it. That's great. My name's Ryan. I am no longer a ride mechanic. That's actually the reason a lot of people ask, like, oh, are you still doing it? No, I don't. That's actually the reason why I have this channel. If I was still a mechanic, I actually couldn't do this channel because there's way too many things that my previous park would not let me put out there. So the fact that I'm not under a park anymore gives me more freedom to talk about things. Previous experience, I'm no longer with that park, but previous experience, I had 14 years. 7 as a general ride mechanic, 4 as a lead, and then another 4 as a supervisor. I got my time frames correct in there. Jen, what is something you wish you would have known at the start of your employment? It could be information, it could be training. Like, for example, I'll go on this one. I said, I wish I knew at the start, because I loved roller coasters and I loved amusement rides and stuff. So I wish I knew I wish I knew I had more electrical and hydraulic knowledge. I just didn't have enough of that to start, and it is a very foreign concept to start out in amusement parks. So, Jen, what do you think of?
That definitely would be true for me too, because I have a healthy fear of electricity. Um, I'm not so afraid of it that I won't change a sensor or fix a broken wire, but when it gets into the nasty 480s and death cabinets, especially on like launching coasters,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm good. So, but a lot of the parks I've worked at 5 parks, and a lot of the parks I worked at was union, and there was an electrical team and a mechanical team. So if like a photo eye went out, I had to call an electrician to come replace it because it was union and I was taking jobs away or whatever that rule was. So
Yep.
I actually got neglected a lot of electrical experience early on because of those types of situations.
Bo, what about you?
I think the one thing that, like, maybe it's just my park and everything, or maybe the ride that I was assigned to, but when you think of, like, the morning inspections and everything, like, okay, like in Pennsylvania, we have inspections on our cars and everything, so it goes once a year, right? But, like, when you are actually there working and you realize, like, oh my God, like, these are inspected probably more thoroughly than my car every year, and they happen every single morning. Every morning, we'd be with a mirror, and we're just checking on. We're on the track with harnesses and everything, and we're just checking under the track every single weld. Just keep going, the entire track every single day, and then you go do the cars and everything, and it's just like it's crazy to me, like, okay, you get your car inspected once every year, and then people are like, oh, our roller coaster's safe and everything. And then you realize this thing
Driving.
has to pass inspection every single day. That is just, it's a very proper inspection, I guess. And that's the one thing that really stood out to me, like, in the beginning.
Absolutely. And for those people that are like, are roller coasters safe? It's like the majority of those same exact people are driving around with their check engine
Four
light
ball
on.
tires.
Or 4-ball tires. Yeah, they're driving around with all that stuff. It's like, oh
Right.
my gosh. And then you're complaining about, like, is a roller coaster safe? But I understand it. An engineer that I'm good friends with, he put it to me, is like, very simple. It's like the amusement industry thrives on perceived danger. That's what we're in.
Yeah.
We specifically put people in that perception that they're in danger when they're not. But that's hard to get out of people's heads for sure.
No,
It is.
absolutely.
Dealing with guests,
Right. The next couple of questions, I get a lot of people ask me these questions, and I think there's just fair like to roll it on down the line. So there's 4 questions I have here, so you could think about these kind of in advance. I'm going to ask be the favorite park, favorite ride. This is just to ride on. The favorite
Okay.
manufacturer to work on, like if you actually have to work on something, and then your favorite manufacturer to ride. And my particular, like my list, they're all 4 different. So
Yeah, mine.
I'll, I'll start with mine. My favorite park. So we talk about overall parks. My favorite park is actually I'm still a Disneyland fan. I love to go to Disneyland all the time. So it still holds that place in my. It's like it's still like it's just I love to be there. The road trip this year, it's like wow, I really fell in love with Knoebels, and that's right up there. But it hasn't knocked Disneyland off of my top yet. So I still like to go to Disneyland. Jen, what about you?
I actually have 2 parks that are tied for number 1 for me.
Okay.
Just vibe and, favorite rides or whatever. Cedar Point in Ohio and Busch Gardens, Tampa.
Nice. Haven't been to Busch Gardens yet, but I hear it's a great place.
Oh, it's amazing. I love it. There's just the animals running around, and they have neat, rare animals that you're like, how do you have that in captivity? Not that it should or shouldn't, but I guess they're like SeaWorld where they have rules. If it's like a harm to itself or others, it can be housed there, like safely in captivity. So I saw a bald eagle missing a wing.
Yep.
It was so sad. Yeah, just stuff like that. So I absolutely love those 2 parks. Those are my faves.
Awesome. Bo, how about you?
Oh, well, I think I'm going to have to hop on the bandwagon again with Cedar Point. I mean,
Because why
I've just been
not?
going there since I was a kid, and like I don't know, like every time I get a new ride or anything, it's awesome to me. You know what I mean? But what's crazy is like I'm a ride mechanic and everything, but like I'm not scared to ride anything. I'll ride it, but like I don't know why I don't know, like last year, all of a sudden, just I get headaches and everything after riding this stuff. So it's just like I love working on them and I'll ride them, but like I got to slow down now.
Yeah. Yeah. Does any, I'm just curious now, kind of like midway through this question here, does anyone have like a threshold of something like, so we have a park out here, Adventureland, and it has let's see, I can't remember who makes it, but it's got one of those, right? It's got a vertical lift and then it curls over and goes beyond vertical on the drop, real fast. A little stubby car. I know it's not Gerslauer. Is it Mac? It might be a Mac ride. But it's one of those things. I have ridden that a bunch of times, and every time I go up that vertical lift hill, I put my hands up. I say I'm gonna go with my hands up the whole way, which I have never have a problem with, right? But every time it crowns over the top and we're about to go, I put my hands down and hold on every single time. And then as soon as we're past that initial drop, I'm back up and I got my hands up and I'm having fun. But just at first, I'm like, yes, 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 nope, okay. Does anyone else run into stuff like that? I mean,
I know.
is it just me? I mean, I don't know.
I know people that do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
especially daily safety rides at my park.
Yeah. And it's just a weird like one-off thing. Like I don't do that on anything else. Even drop towers. I hate drop towers, but I'll still ride on them. I almost have a heart attack getting to the top, but once I like drop it, I'm like, woo, I have my hands out. It's fun. Lex Luthor's Drop a Doom 400 whatever feet, it's like that was fun getting to the top. I almost died getting to the top, but it was fun coming down.
I gotta be honest with you, the only ride I've ever been seriously scared to ride was a drop tower at Busch Gardens called Falcons Fury.
That's the one where you tilt and you face down, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I rode
why.
that this summer. It
yeah.
was I took my girlfriend with me, and I was like, "Oh, this is like the last ride. We got to do it." And she wouldn't get on it with me, but I was like, "I'm
Yeah,
here. I bought my ticket.
it's intense.
I'm riding it." And honestly, like it was, I didn't feel it in my stomach at all. Like I
No,
was just like, "Huh,
it
this
was
is
just
interesting."
the acting.
Right.
Yeah. I hear that's one of those. I haven't ridden on it, but I hear that's one of those the bark is bigger than the bite type rides. And
Yeah,
everyone says it's so intimidating to watch and it's so crazy, but when you get on it, you're like, oh,
yeah,
that's it? It was
yeah.
always the same impression that most everyone had at my old park where they would ride on our top spin. Everyone would watch the
Oh, yeah.
top spin sit there and flip around with people, and everyone's like, no way, I'm not getting on that. And then the people that finally got on it, they're like, that was it?
Yeah, yeah.
And the rest of us are just sitting there like, well, yeah, it's a top spin. Like, what were you expecting?
Right.
Super funny.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one is it might not be in your favorite park, but what is your favorite ride? For me, mine is in my favorite park. I growing up, I always loved the Matterhorn bobsleds at Disneyland, and again, I think
Nostalgia.
it's that childhood thing. It's just like I still love going in and out of those tunnels in the mountain. It's like I could smell the track on that ride, you know?
And the Yeti.
Yeah, yeah. Especially those new upgraded Yetis. They look really good. Yeah.
They're slightly more scary than the abominable snowmen that were in there earlier in
With
time.
with the one arm that would just come down like that as you pass by.
Like it's
Yeah,
gonna pick the.
yeah. I'm glad they went and they got those working good and not whatever they're using on like Tiana's Bayou Adventure now, because then those would just be
Yeah,
broken.
totally, absolutely, 100%.
Jen, what's your favorite ride though?
My absolute favorite roller coaster is the Accelerator at Knott's Berry
Oh,
Farm.
that's a great one. That's a great
Yep.
one. In the dwindling field of intimate hydraulic launch rides. That's
I know. It's
going away
you
so
know,
fast. Oh,
I'm a huge fan.
nice.
Go Accelerator.
There go Accelerator. How about Bo? What's Bo got?
Oh, all right. Well, it's going to be at my favorite park, and I got to go right now with Siren's Curse. I mean, it's just, I think the one thing that stands out to me, because I just don't care about, like, oh, this ride does this does this, but, like, just how smooth it is for all the whippy transitions and everything. Like, I went opening day and rode it, and I was like, I don't even feel like I'm on rails. It's butter.
It just
And
Nice.
it's
goes.
just, and I think the one thing that they really did good on too is the theming. I think that's one thing Cedar Point always like kind of lacked on was their theming of the ride, and then the speakers right in your ear, and it's like a siren's gonna drag you underwater. It was honestly it's my new top favorite at this point. I'm not gonna lie.
That's great. I mean, I've heard so much massive good things about Siren's Curse. Like that is definitely one of those things. I was disappointed when I went to Cedar Point. I couldn't get on it, but
So
it
I felt.
was brand new construction, so I that stuff happens. I know. I don't hold. I'm not upset about it or anything. It's just like a lot of people have said. It's just a reason to go back. It's like yeah, that is a reason to go back. But this goes right into our other one, which is what's your favorite ride manufacturer, to work on their equipment? So it's like something that you like, yes, and you don't necessarily have to have firsthand experience with it. You know, we can all kind of look at other manufacturers we haven't touched, and you can kind of see just like, oh, that looks like a pain in the butt right there. Or like, oh, that doesn't look good at all. But my particular one, I mean, most of my experiences with them and their new stuff is, like Bo said, it's amazing. I love Vekoma stuff. I mean, they're great things, and they it looks like they actually give you something to work on the equipment. You know, it's not just like the Intamin stuff seems to be just like all singular pieces. There's just not much there, but the Vekoma stuff is like interesting and fun in my opinion. It's like, yeah, I like to work on Vekoma stuff. That's me. Jen, what manufacturer do you like to work on?
I'm absolutely an arrow fan. So I can literally, I have a lot of experience working on arrow corkscrews and mega loopers, and I literally can go to any park that has an arrow corkscrew and just don't even be signed off, and I can take care of the ride.
Oh yeah,
Huge
yeah,
fan.
yeah. A lot of
A
manufacturers
lot.
like that. Like I mean, honestly, most of us here, you just give us a roller coaster and say, here, open this for the day. I mean, realistically, we just need to know how to operate the panel. That's it.
Right.
Just tell me
Yeah.
how to start the ride up, and then the mechanical stuff, it's like, no problem. I got this.
Yeah.
I'll even find bad stuff on there for you if you want.
Yep. Actually, real quick, one time, one of my parks, I was there like maybe 3 days, and the guy that had the arrow corkscrew had called in sick. And I'm like, hey, I just came from a park with many arrows. You know, I had 4 or 5 arrows at my park. I'm like, I literally, all you got to do is show me how you inspect the underside of the train with, if you have like a remote or if you have someone jog it forward, because it's different, that can be different. And how the panel works. I literally got you on every other thing. They're
Yep.
like, really? And the boss went over there and he's like, what's that? What's that? And I'm all, oh, a biaxis block, a blah, 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 blah. And I told him all this stuff and he goes, okay, you're certified. I, I swear, I filled out an 8.5, 11
Yeah.
page of all of this stuff I fixed on the train that night. Yeah.
Nice.
Broken tables, bad road wheels, bad upstops, changed out a brake ski in the station, like a bunch of stuff. And they were like, you're now that ride's ride mechanic. I'm like, wonderful.
Yeah, like you never left, huh? It's like, oh yeah, I got this. Let's work. Let's get on this one. No big
Just
deal.
different scenery.
How about Bo? Now, granted, you're pretty new to it, but you have a favorite manufacturer?
Right now, I think it's also just because I love the ride and everything. And it was also my first coaster I ever got to work on and stuff. But I think just the simplicity that Rivershawn, like on their spinning coasters, they have like the system is very simple. It's just a couple buttons and you're gone. You're on your way. And just like the assemblies and everything, like it's just I think it's a good ride for especially for like a newbie like me and everything coming in. Like it was awesome because you're learning about like putting in bearings and everything, and then like even like the assemblies and how they everything goes in. It's very simplistic and like I've worked on like an Arrow and everything. Actually, it was revamped by Morgan, now Chance, but
Okay.
it I mean just everything. I don't know why. Like it just that's my baby at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I mean the other ones I had a flat ride too by Zamperla. I mean it was a great discovery, and it's that was one of the ones I rode every morning, and at the top like I would just be holding on because I was like, oh, we're still going up. We're still going up. Okay. All right. But like, it's just fixing anything at this point. It's just, I just love it. Especially, I think it's because like I'm in school right now, so I'm a senior engineering major and everything. So like coming in with a background of all that, it's just like, oh, I want to get my hands and I want to touch all these mechanical parts. You know what I mean? So.
Right. Well, you're in a very dangerous position right now. So my advice to you is to not mess with the grease guns too much. That's always what I tell new people. I'm like, okay, there's tons of grease fittings all over everything, but I'm like, if it's something that turns fast, you don't put grease in it. Just wait. Call someone else up that has more experience with it. It's like you put grease in the stuff that's like a quarter of a turn, like a pivot or a hitch or something like that. Go ahead and grease that stuff. It's like if you ever want to put grease in a wheel, call me up first because you're going to have to justify putting grease in a wheel with me. Like that is bad news. It's like, Jennifer, you have experience with people over greasing wheels?
Oh my gosh, I hate over greasers. I'm like, calm down with the grease gun. They're like, more grease. I'm like, no, stop. You're ruining things. It's just going to spew out the side. You know what the worst one is? People with open gear grease.
Oh,
They'll
yes.
literally like, oh my gosh, our little Zamperla crazy sub, so much grease. And all it did was just spit it out in between the pinion gear and the bull gear all over the side of the sub. And I'm like, you didn't have to put the whole cartridge on there.
Oh, my
Just
gosh.
a Like, calm down. Like, but the more it's greased, the better it works. Like, no, that's not a thing. Oh my.
See, my park was actually getting they were buying aerosol tacky lube. So it was in a can,
Oh,
and you'd spray it.
like
And
Jax or something. Yeah.
yeah, so you'd spray it, and what would happen is the guys would go through and they'd spray like a ring gear, and then it
Yeah.
would just like the on the scrambler it was the worst because the ring gear is upside down underneath the sweep arms, so they'd spray it
Hmm.
underneath there, and then because it was still like basically, I don't know what you call it, coagulating or whatever, it would
Yeah.
just drip down off of there. So good mechanics knew when they on the weekly when they went to spray those gears down, they would bring a large piece of cardboard out underneath it.
Yep.
Then they spray it, and then they go down more inspection, then move the cardboard, and then spray that one, more inspection, then move the cardboard and spray that one. But I mean, the amount of times people have put, oh yeah, I put fresh grease in the hitch. Like, what's that mean? It's like to where it comes out of the sides, and it's like, go clean the
Oh,
hitch. I did. I wiped
yeah.
it off. I'm like, you cycled the ride? Yeah. Go clean the hitch. And then they go out there and it's just like, just all over everything. It's like, too much grease. Please don't do that.
That was one of the funny things. So like what I also did was like I would do some like breakdowns and like analysis for the park and everything. And like I said on that River Sean, so the side friction wheels, the on the River Sean like spinning rides, when the car turns, there's no like embankment or anything. So it's just turning. It's just going to turn. And that obviously puts a lot of like stress on those side frictions. And they were just delaminating like crazy. And like you would go under there and I would be shooting them with like an IR temperature because like that was just the way I like started. I was like, why don't we go get some temperatures, see like what all this is going into? And they were just getting like absurdly hot. And the grease we had in it, it was Shell Gaddis at the time. And basically it was just melting out and it would end up pushing both of these bearings out too, and then you would have it
Right.
so that it would kind of loosen up. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
what I ended up doing is I was like, okay, well, we need to increase something that's a little that can withstand this temperature and everything. So we ended up going to like Zepp Blue Slide, which is honestly meant for like water rides and stuff. But
Yeah.
you would put it in and it would just spin like crazy and it would be perfect and it would never break loose or anything. And it just, I kind of give my partners some crap all the time. It's like, new guy, but I kind of got that down, huh? But I mean, I think that was one of my more proud moments of my experience so far is getting them to change grease in those wheels and they're not delaminating anymore either. So,
And you
Right.
solved the problem.
Right. The next one is a favorite manufacturer to ride. Now, I love
Oh.
Intamins, I love B&Ms and stuff like that, but honestly, right now anyway, my favorite manufacturer actually out there is Intamin. It's like almost everyone's, if you get like a top 3 list from almost everybody, at least one of those rides is an Intamin ride. And Intamin right now is just killing it on their rides. I mean, they're just absolutely awesome. Everything even the flat ride they just turned out for Effelting. I can't say it right, but it's Dance Macabre. I can't say that right either.
Oh yeah. Good of it.
A unique flat ride, and even that, watching that,
Yeah.
it's like that is just an amazing piece of equipment. It's just
Right?
like, wow, I never. Of course, that particular one, it's like if it wasn't in that particular installation that park did, it would just be okay. But the way that park did that installation, it's like, what an immaculate ride. Like, that is absolutely amazing. I would love to go. I would love to go be there in person one day for that ride, for sure.
Oh, fun.
Jen, how about you? What's your favorite manufacturer to ride on?
So I'm gonna have to copy you. Mine's definitely Intamin. Of course, well, Accelerator's my number one, but my top 5 coasters, 4 out of 5 of them are Intamins.
There you go.
So yeah, Maverick, Velocicoaster, Cheetah Hunt. I just Accelerator, of course. I love Intamins.
Yep.
Huge fan.
Yeah, Accelerator and Maverick are up at the top for me. Yeah.
Love Maverick.
I
Gosh.
wanted to go with Millennium Force on there, but that whole thing didn't work out.
I felt so bad for you on that video. I'm like, you missed all the good stuff and your
I
little
know.
like exits on every ride that was
Ah,
down. And he had the crappiest day at the point. How sad.
I had to do that. Of course, everyone also like jumped on top of me. What do you mean you went to that park and only spent one day there? It's like, I know, but we were
Oh,
going to do all these other things. So I'm like, that's just what we had planned.
yeah, no, I get it. I've flown all the way over there to ride and come back before, so and not even spend a full day. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah,
How about
that
Bo?
was bad.
Ooh, I'm just gonna put out top three. I'm gonna say Vacoma, Premier, and then probably Chance/Morgan. Just I'm honestly not the biggest Intamin fan.
But not for everyone.
It's
Yeah,
just
that's
I don't
true.
know why, but like I think the one thing like I said earlier is just like the smoothness and everything, and like I feel like Vacoma and Premier just they knock it out of the water with some how smooth their rides are, and they stay smooth, and that's I know, like, if I'm not sure, I've never like rode an SLC or anything, but I've heard like the older Vacoma rides were pretty bumpy or anything. But
Oh,
Super
yeah.
smooth.
I have no complaints about the newer ones at all. You know what I mean? So
So in love with certain SLCs.
God, if you've never ridden on an SLC, you've got to at least at one point in line get on an SLC just so you could say you've
yeah,
done it. You know.
And in the front row.
I think there's one at Kings Island, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird inverted. I don't.
Oh, are
I
you talking
honestly
about
couldn't
Banshee?
tell. No, not Banshee. It's light blue. I totally forget the name, but
And it's inverted?
yeah, I
At
think it's
Kings
literally
Island?
called Invertigo.
Oh, in Vertigo. That's a Vacoma.
Yeah,
It is.
that's a
Yeah.
Vacoma. That's
That
a
was one of
it
the most terrified I've ever been on a ride. I'm not
It
gonna
actually
lie.
used to be at Great America up in Northern California, and they moved it over there. And yeah, in Vertigo, used to ride that as a kid at Great America.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Which
That
I'm.
one's actually better than the one I was referring to, but yes, no offense.
So I made a video on how boomerangs work. So the next progression in that is to make a video on how an inverted boomerang works. I'm trying to find something that's just not out there of how the catch car assembly is put together for the two lifts, because that one is hard. For the giant inverted boomerang, it's like I've got some pictures and stuff on that. It's like it the principle is like okay, which I understand for the inverted boomerang is the same basically, but they used mechanical instead of hydraulic to release it. So that's the only question I have there. So if anyone out there has a picture of the catch car, whether it's taken apart or just up close of that catch car on an inverted boomerang, let me know, because I'd like to see that. Be fun. So many people from this channel, they have so many pictures of up close things like that. A lot of times, if I ask, someone out there is like, "Yeah, here you go." It might not be. It might be you can't release this or don't tell anybody where you got this from, which is perfectly fine. But
Right.
at least it's something they're like, okay, and then I could sit here and make it out of cardboard for everybody else. It's like, hey, look, here we go. This is how it's going to work, like this. Try to
I
do
love
stuff like that.
your squeeze brake.
The what?
I love your homemade bogey and your squeeze brake that you made in that one video. Your
Oh,
little
yeah.
mini pinch brake. You
That's
still
right
have
here.
it?
It sits on my desk. It's right here.
So cute.
I know, right?
And it's so accurate too.
I know, right? Always down to
You have
like my
airbag in
inverts.
there or no?
Yep. No, they have
Yep.
airbags in it right there.
So
Yep,
cute.
I can inflate that. They will, and I mean even to the point where I could have just gone cheap with it and like
Yeah.
colored metal and glued it on or something like that. It's like nope, that is actual brass that's
Yeah.
actually riveted to the inside.
Yeah.
I mean, I built it the exact same way the manufacturers did. Like,
Yeah. I was
like
super impressed with that because I'm like, that's how we build brake skis for our arrows.
right? Anyone who's been
Yeah.
sitting in there and either old fashioned, which is riveting brass together, or
It's a thing.
a lot of parks. Mine was one of them. We didn't rivet them. We used very small, like M6 flathead cap screws in there,
Oh, okay.
and then you put lock nuts on the back. But then the bad part is in order to prevent puncturing the bladder, you had to sit
Right.
there with a grinder and smooth you have to grind the stud down to the nut and smooth it. And if you went too far into the nut, you cut off the deformation part of it, so you'd have to replace
So,
that now.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Did we get to Bo on that last one? Sorry, I got talking about little breaks and stuff.
Sorry.
That's all right. It's fun. That's what I mean. That's the whole purpose of these videos. It's like a lot of people are like, what happens if you just got some people together and just started talking? And it's just like, yeah, this is what mechanics and stuff will talk about like that. Some of the questions just help people, guide their way along through the video. But realistically, this is just an open forum for us to talk about whatever we want to talk about. Jen or Bo, do you guys have any issues that you want to talk about? Is there anything that's like, this is perplexing, weird things going on?
Okay, I think for me at least, I guess again, like the engineering background and everything. So like some things are designed to work and not be worked on. And I learned that very quickly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a lot of the fellow mechanics would be like, are you seeing this? Are you taking notes on this? Don't design something like this. And I was like, yeah, I can understand why. We have, it's like a little shooting gallery, but you're in like this little car when you're going through like a haunted house thing. And the wheels like to delaminate. But when the wheel delaminates, you have to change the entire motor. And to get to the motor, there's 4 little bolts, and you have to reach your hand up inside this little thing. And the only way you can do it is turn it like a 1/16 of an inch every single time.
Yeah.
And even with a ratcheting like wrench, it is a nightmare to take off. And then they're so heavy, so you got to catch it real quick. And then you have to be able to hold it and put in while you're doing it. It's just, that was the one thing I learned real quick is a lot of things are designed to work, not be worked on.
Sometimes you can get around that, and depending on the scenario, I mean, there's plenty of stuff where you can't do stuff like that, but I mean, a lot of the kiddie rides that we used to work on, they had, it was a fiberglass shell, and then the park decided to install seat belts, and it was the same thing. You were working up behind the seat in the back, trying to hold like a little tiny 6mm nut while you started a screw that, of course, the mechanics have all replaced with now like a 60mm long screw that's only has to go in that far, but it's there. So what we did on a lot of that stuff was we actually went through and built plates to sit on the back side, but the plates were threaded. So it's like,
nice.
Okay, we stepped it up. It was like a 1/4-inch steel. And it was like, okay, so we just drilled and tapped the holes that needed to be there. And then below that, we would drill and tap 2 more holes. And then what we do is we install them once and poke the holes out. And then we put hardware in them from the front. So inside the coach, you had 2 flathead cap screws that were holding the plate. And then every time you needed to from there, you could just take the other screws out, do what you needed to, and then just put them right back in. You never had to stick your hand back up underneath there. So
That's awesome.
sometimes you could get away with that. Of course, if it's like, oh no, it's a high stress component and you have to have, 982 nylocks on there each time that have to be replaced. And it's like, okay, well, that won't work. But for some of that smaller stuff, it sometimes works.
We have a Damperla jump around at our park, and it has those kind of seat belts where you have to stick your hand up in the fiberglass to get the little nut on. And the guys are always like, hey, Jen, it's time to change seat belts at the jump around. And I'm like, because my hand fits perfectly up in there without getting fiberglass splinters. So they recruit me every time because I have small hands because I'm a girl.
The fiberglass splinters.
Yes, like my whole forearm will be
Oh,
icky.
yeah.
You got to take the cold water and dump it all over it to get it to calm down.
No, I don't. Yeah, I'm not doing that. That's like climbing up inside of a Zamperla wave swinger flying carousel.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just like in the little tiny sections you have to worm your way between the center steel tree, which is again over greased, and the fiberglass behind you. And then, not to mention, once you get up in the canopy, it's whatever has decided to make a nest inside there for the day.
100%. A little petting zoo.
Yeah, yeah, something up there. Not
Super
fun
funny.
stuff. Um,
No.
have you guys seen the? Well, Jen probably has, being in out. You're out on the West Coast there. Um, have you seen some of the video of the Fast and the Furious coaster out there?
Oh my God, I want to ride it so bad. They're having trouble. They were having trouble with it not too long ago, getting it up to speed.
Mm,
Um, but they'll work that out. Of course, it's a new launching coaster, and that's always a thing with new launchers.
yeah.
But yeah, but it looks amazing. I have a lot of friends that work at Universal, and we're literally going to go to the employee party when it opens.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, I'll send you a video.
That is
I'm with us.
awesome. Yeah, I was watching that video of that thing, because they got a lot of, they're doing the testing, trying to find that minimum speed to get it up as high as it can go without going backwards into the track before they could seesaw it over.
Yeah,
What I'm really waiting to see, which is like, it looks, I'm starting to see more like full cycles coming over, just YouTube, just starting to see more
yeah,
first cycles coming through. And it's like, oh, I can't wait to see those things actually start to twist out there.
yeah. That thing
'Cause,
looks amazing.
yeah,
I'm sure that's going to be top five, the number five of top five.
it's going to be interesting. I'm concerned with how much noise that's going to create, because you have an active studio down there, and that's the main thing they were concerned about. They didn't care about people, admission, ride, anything. They're like, how much noise is this going to make? And that's
Yeah,
kind of like, ugh, I don't know how much
I
noise
guess
that's going to make.
I don't know how they're going to work that out if they're filming, and then
Right?
it's like a busy park. Are they going to shut the ride down? Or are they going to like put egg carton things around it to calm it down? I don't know. Or just say you can't run the ride this day, but it's going to have a line. So
Well, I mean, they
the
got those
throughput.
sound walls all over the place, but you know the sound's going to get out. The question
Yeah,
is it louder than a tram full of people passing by the soundstage?
you got that too. Right, right. The backlot tour. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But it looks fun.
One thing like I have seen is like I still look at these videos of like Falcons flight, and I'm like, this is like a roller coaster I would have built when I was a kid, like in a
Yeah,
little video game.
out of
Yes.
Lego,
And now they're just feel like
making it
that's
happen.
just that's the definition of intimate now. Is they're just like they're surpassing all those levels of, oh yeah, we'll build it. We'll build it.
Yep.
We actually totally have plans to go to Kidia and ride that and
Really.
add it to. Yes, I swear.
Wow.
I actually know a local, and he
Wow.
said we could stay at their house, me and my BFF Amy. And I'm like, Amy, you want to go to Kidia? And she goes, is it safe? And I'm like, I think it will be fine. Let's go ride Falcon's Flight.
I was like, okay, Intamin's got to have that thing maxed out, getting up and over. And then I recently saw a video. I'm pretty sure El Toro Ryan put it out,
Okay.
and it was basically like they had installed brakes going all the way up that bunny hill, that 600 foot or whatever that is, that hill right there. They had
Yeah,
installed brakes going up and over it, and I'm like, what? What?
it's needed now.
You mean they launched it so hard coming off of there? The only thing they could do was put brakes up on top of it. That is crazy. Like, why would you want to do that? And then I'm thinking to myself, it's like, wouldn't that be way more fun with like 1.5 negative G's over there, just crushing your thighs as hard as it can as you're coming up over the top of that thing? Like, I think that would be fun.
I like how the train has a windshield.
Needed, definitely needed. Because what is it? Formula Rosa, is that the one? I mean, what's the other hydraulic launch coaster out there? They have
That's
to
it.
give people goggles.
Yeah.
Sand is, ooh, It's a bad thing
Oh,
to get in
yeah.
your eyes.
Wind picks up.
Yeah,
Looking very forward to going though.
that's great. That's great. I hope you can make it because that's one thing. It's like, whoa, I'm not going to be going there anytime soon. I don't. The capital expenditure it would take to get me over there is way too much money, and we honestly, if I'm going over that way, well, I've got to do a Euro trip too. I've got to go
Oh,
to England. I've got to go to Germany, and then while we're there, it's like I got to go to Italy too. It's like
100%.
that's going to be a lifetime trip right there if I ever get out that way. That's going to be expensive.
Yeah. We're starting to save now. Well, I'm
Yes,
volunteering for all overtime, even at other people's parks.
right? Right?
Yeah. Anybody got an arrow they need rehab? Call me. I'm there.
Right? Jin knows how to tear that thing apart, put it back together. Just kick the crew
Blind.
out of there and say, "You don't know what you're doing. Get out." And then you tell them,
Definitely
"By the way, I'm going to need overtime for this." So,
overtime.
yeah, I do have a trip to pay for.
That's how it's gonna go down, Ryan.
Yep. Let's see, Bo. Do you have kind of a, I don't know, not a loaded question, but do you have any projects in 2026, 2027, since a lot of things getting pushed back these days? Is there anything that you see coming up in the next year or two that you're genuinely excited for at a park or whatever out there?
I don't know. I think it is cool to see the first B&M dive coaster hitting that giga level. It's well, that's on whatever the 300-foot mark. That was very. I think it's cool, but like I don't know. Ever since like I know it's called like that B&M rattle, and it's just like I just feel it on like all the rides now. And I know they switched like a bunch of things to get the cost down and everything, but like I feel like I don't know. I guess maybe I'm going on a tangent, but I feel like Vekoma took that top spot for B&M recently. But that's my opinion. You know what I mean?
I had a similar thought on that. It seems like Vekoma is now reaching the pinnacle stage up there to where it's like, okay, B&Ms are reliable, when we all know that. They're fun, they're reliable. But new and exciting, it's like I think right now the industry is between Vekoma and Intamin, honestly. But then
100%.
but then at the same time, there's all the other manufacturers sitting there. Mac is making great products, Mac makes great stuff. Yeah, yeah, they're always up there at the top. So I mean, I don't know how you
Yeah.
say like for sure this one. It's like I don't know, but not even looking at record breakers or anything like that. Just like genuinely thrilling rides out there that a lot of parks are tripping over to buys. A lot of time coming from Intamin. And Vekoma seems to be closing that gap pretty quick. And then, honestly, Zamperla is a wild card in there because it's like they've stepped up now. So it's like, ooh, is Zamperla going to be doing anything else? It's like, oh, don't know.
No, I completely agree. What they did with Top Thrill too. I mean, I know the whole thing last year. It ran for what like 6 or 7 days, but like I mean, this year I rode it and everything, and it was. I mean, it was always open when I was there, and yeah, it would break down and everything. But it's also in the heat of summer, and those sensors don't like. That's one thing I learned too. Is the sensors really don't like being in direct heat all day. I mean, you're just gonna have ride calls after ride calls. So I mean,
Everyone's favorite comment, like the rides are built to be outdoors. What do you mean the sensors get hot? And I'm like, I'm not an electronic engineer, but let me tell you, they don't like to get hot.
our
You're frying them.
Right?
Well, too, the humidity on the East Coast. Well, Bo knows, like, definitely the rides are affected by that too.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, you just can't. It's a piece of machinery. You have to expect it to work as well as break down.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
we
An
had
element
a
to stay.
the revamped Arrow that we have. There was we added eddy brakes in the back of it.
Oh.
And it was never an issue or anything. And until it gets to around like June. And there's a perfect temperature that for some reason the sensors like to say that the cart went around the track in 0 seconds.
Oh my.
The train teleported.
Wow.
And that was one of my, I think that was like my third project I did and everything. And everything I kept going to is I was like, well, I think the only thing that it's pointing to right now is like the eddies. Like I'm sure, like I just don't understand. Like it's traveling here to here, and it's saying 0 seconds. Like what the heck?
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, that was a funky one. That was a completely funky.
Do either of you want to see, like, kind of self-centered, sorry, but do either of you want to see any videos in particular come out from my end? I mean, it's kind of weird talking with mechanics because normally I have just the enthusiast general public people saying, hey, what about this, what about that? When I talk with other mechanics, it's like, I've asked a question, you want to see anything? It's like, no. Why is this? This is work. Why are we doing this? No. I don't want to see anything. Are you crazy?
You know what I think would be fun if you got some ride operators together and did a roundtable just from their point of view because they're working with guests all day.
Yeah.
Like the only time, I deal with ride operators. We deal with ride operators a lot, also, whatever. But I just want to like the hours in between ride calls that we're not there. I would love to see like how they interact with guests and funny stories they may have, or how they interact with each other, things like that. I don't know. It might be funny.
That's a good one because the experience I have at the park I was at, which most people know where I was, but it's always like there's always this like conflict between maintenance and operations. It's always seems to be that way. I hear it from a lot of different parks. It's always like maintenance didn't fix the ride right, and maintenance is always like operations isn't running the ride right.
So I got a funny story about that one. Like, yeah, operations at one of my parks would be like, we want 3 trains. And I said, well, your crew's too slow. You're going to let that train is slamming into the ready brake constantly. And I'm going through brass like water to put brake skis back on the ride.
Yes.
I'm like, if you want 3 trains, you're going to have to train your crew better.
Yep.
And then like, so I just wouldn't give them a 3rd train. I would be like, oh, the hitch needs to be tightened up, or this restraint needs a new ratchet pull. And I would make stuff up half the time because I knew they didn't know what I was talking about. And sometimes it wouldn't even piece together. It would just be random, like the upstop to the electrical, and I would just make up stuff. And they were like, okay. So I'm like, yeah, faster crew equals a 3rd train. And then eventually, because my boss would get on me for using up too much brass. He's like, we're buying a lot of brass for your ride. I'm like, well, tell the kids to stop slamming it into the ready brake, and I can give you a 3rd train. So then eventually it worked itself out, and they had some kind of rewards program where they, the better guys went to roller coasters to keep load and go and throughput happening.
Yeah.
And then they would get their 3rd train. So there is that battle, and that's been at all the parks I've worked at.
It's kind of funny, like you say that. So like, one of our most like, I don't know how to describe it. It was just like, oh, not this ride call again. But like perfectly, like it'd be right after our morning inspection and everything. And our Rivershawn spinning coaster's on the other side of the park, and our maintenance shop's on the complete other side. So we would stop back because it's right before lunch. We'd grab our soda and everything from the market. And there's just this cursed plot that we always get to. And you have to walk. It's right when you're walking down to the shop. So you're in your last, like, you're in the bottom of the ninth getting down to the shop. And over the walkie-talkie, you just hear the coaster is code 9107. It's a car push, and you're just like, oh, and it's just because
over there
you have to stack these cars right, because it's not like a train; it's literally just cars coming in, and you have to stack it right in the station for it to get onto the part that it launches off of. And if it bumps that and the fingers aren't touching the mechanism anymore, well, you can't send the train. So you just have to go over there and push it so that way you can get to it. And it was just
Oh,
like,
that makes sense.
oh, I'm already down here and now I'm walking all the way back up just to push this car because they're not allowed to do it. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, all right. All right.
Well, let's do this, right?
Right. That's where we tried to get a hold of the operational supervisor. It's like, you guys, either one of you guys close to just go, like in that case, like to go push that car? Because sometimes
Give it a
the supervisors would help us out. And they're like, oh, because they would hear kind of what we would call, like a BS call. They'd hear
Yeah.
BS calls too, and they'd just be like, oh, I'm close to that ride. I'll go take care of it for you. And it's like, okay, thank you so much. Like, we did appreciate that, There was
So the only
times
ones
where we
allowed
worked.
to, the only ones allowed to do that call are actually maintenance. So like, no matter what, like it's your ride. In the morning, it's your ride. You take care of it, all the calls and everything. And like there was another one on our Great Discovery. It would so the floors don't actually drop down; they just slide in and slide out. And so basically, we kept getting because the seals and everything on it. Basically, you would get it, and then you would close the platforms, and then it would just go pressure fault, and then you have to reset it and everything. And we were the only ones allowed to do it, so we were just constantly going back and forth, and then finally we got it so that ops was allowed to finally just clear the pressure fault because it was just simply turning a key and then cycling the platform, and you were good, ready to go.
Yeah.
But
So I take care of a wooden roller coaster, and it has very old platen brakes. And sometimes if the operators don't hold the buttons down long enough because it's manually operated brakes, they get the train stuck, especially if they're learning how to operate the ride, which I totally understand. It's a hard ride to operate. So, nothing's automatic. We call it our analog roller coaster. And they'll get it stuck. And I'm like, I was just over here, like, really hold the buttons down longer. And I try to show them how to like play the piano with the buttons. And half the time I'll be like, you know what? It'll teach you not to stick the train if you have to push it every time. So I'll be like, how about I operate the ride and you give it a little love tap and we'll work together.
Yeah.
And they're actually okay with it.
That's a good like reinforcement method to where it's like, I'm not going to jump through the hoop every time I come out here. It's actually going to be you jumping through the hoop now. So I'm a firm believer it doesn't have to be super mean, but there needs to be some sort of negative repercussion if this keeps happening a lot,
Yeah.
Yeah, something to get
like
people's attention.
Yeah, like if it's semi laziness or something, like, you know what, guess what? You get to go push a 12,000-pound train in there because I'm not getting a hernia over this every time, right?
Right.
So, and then it would stop, it would work. So I'm like, okay, great. And I'm never mean to ride operators. I need them and we need them in our careers because they're at the ride all day listening to it and they may hear a weird noise or whatever. I love when they try to describe it to me in their own words. But yeah, so I mean, don't be mean to ride operators. Some ride mechanics will go up firing at the hip and just start, being, what'd you do to the ride? And I'm like, calm down. Maybe it's just not them.
I did that a lot. I would show up and I'd walk in, I come in with my belt, my tools, my radio and everything there, my clipboard, since a lot of times, I was having to manage people, and I'd come in and be like, what'd you do to my ride? And they were like, oh, you can see it in their face. They're like, I'm just like, I'm messing with you. What's going on? What's happening?
I'll do that. I'll totally joke around with them, but I won't mean it,
Right. But then I've had other ride mechanics show up, and I get a call from the operations supervisor, and
oh god,
your mechanic made my ride operator cry again. Can you have him not have him do that? And
right?
I'm just like, okay,
come cry.
I'll talk with him. He's like, okay, and then I'm just like, man, you can't make ride operators cry about stuff. It's like they weren't operating the ride right. I'm like, we have to we still have to
Teach
be
them.
civil and work with them
Yeah.
and guide them towards the proper operation of the ride, but yeah, those are some tough ones sometimes because you have like stuck between a rock and a hard place on some of that stuff.
Oh, totally. I got a ride call one time. The bumper car ride wouldn't start. And I'm like, that's weird. I never get a ride call over here. So I look and the e-stop's pushed in.
There you
And I
go.
went up to the ride operator and it was one of that had the key switch in the middle. So I
Mhm.
unlocked it and I turned it on and all the stinger poles lit up. And I go, wow, it's a Christmas miracle. We got power at the bumper car ride. And she laughed, but she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, it's okay. I get it. You lean over the panel too far. Maybe you didn't hear it click, whatever. And then she's like, it's a Christmas miracle. So I like to make jokes like that sometimes.
Yep, we've all
We
done.
had a um, so that ride I was telling you about, the like shooting gallery thing. You load on the second floor, and there's like there's an elevator for handicapped people to like get up and everything. And so one day it just was not working. It just would not work. So it would go up, and then as soon as you let go of it from down below, it would just keep coming down. And we had electricians there, and then all these maintenance people showed up. And I think one of my main I think I would say this was one of my like favorite I guess flex moments is I walked up and they're all like, I don't understand it. And the switch was stuck down at the top of it. So I went in and I just went, whoop, and then it worked perfectly. And I was like,
It's a Christmas miracle.
there you go.
There's that one guy on YouTube who's always making those little short videos, and he's just like,
Yeah.
there you go. Like, that's it.
Super funny.
Yeah, it's funny the things that you go through sometimes, and it's just like, oh, all that hassle, and it was just for this. And then other time there's things where there's like malicious intent involved from people, and it's just like, okay, like the amount of times we've had ride operators break down rides because they wanted a break.
Yeah,
And it
get a break.
was clear. It was just clear. We had to implement a policy that when the ride went down for an unusual noise or an unusual cycle, that the ride operator supervisor had to show up to the ride first and verify the noise. That's how bad it was. We had to have the supervisor go verify the noise or the cycle first. That way, that operator wasn't just getting a break. And it wasn't like we were being really hard nosed, like, they're trying to do something. It was like they would call it down for an unusual noise, and we would go there, and the ride was empty. Literally, there was nobody there, including no ride operator. And it's like, where'd the ride operator go? Well, they went to the employee area to take a break. It's like,
What?
So we would start the ride up and ran a cycle on it, and it's like, it sounds fine.
Yeah.
And we called it back, ready to go. This thing's ready to go. By the way, there's no operator here though. And then the supervisor would be like, "Where's the operator?" It's like, "Tell us." I mean, we don't know. So we had to implement that policy. That was ridiculous, but the things you end up doing for that sort of stuff.
One of my parks made them, if they caused the ride any kind of downtime, they would make them scrape gum with a putty knife off the station floor. So, and they knew they didn't want to be down on their hands and knees scraping up gum. So they would, the ride calls that way went down considerably after they announced that you would have to start scraping gum.
Oh yeah, I bet.
I was like, problem solved.
Try a little bit harder to keep people off the air gates. Like, look, I don't want to scrape the floor.
Yeah, exactly. Not that excited 10-year-old. It's like,
right.
Yeah, got that ride call a whole bunch of times.
Oh.
We can't send the train. I'm like, yeah, I'll bet I know what the problem is.
Right.
We had that one time on our Great Discovery, is they couldn't figure out why it wouldn't send or anything. And in the station, there's a thing, if you look below the console, like all the magnetic, gates that lock, they have to light up green to allow you to do anything. I go there and I look down there, and the one that's like that lets the people in is not closed, and I was like,
Yeah, it was off.
well, I mean, at least it's simple, but I mean, gotta fire right up now.
Yeah. Were those safety rated switches on there? Were they like the red Allen Bradley guard logics switches?
Yeah. Yep.
I've had some infuriating moments with those too, because it's like you look at it's like the switch isn't on. I'm looking at it, it's like it's lined up. What's the sensor say? It's like it says it's not on. It's lined up, and I'm like putting the little reading head back in front of it and backing it away. It's like going back, and it's like it's there. It's like I don't know, and it's like you put it and you do it like the 10th time, and then the box finally lights up. It's like it's there now. It's like, what's that all about?
When you go to the top of that ride, like to inspect it, like they have like drawdown bridges that you just send over real quick, and then there's those sensors right there.
Mm.
And sometimes first of all, I'm a tiny guy. I'm like 5'6", so I'm trying to like pull this thing up with like all my might and everything while I'm up there. And like then you gotta like pull it a little more so it actually goes right in front of that sensor, and then you have to shove the pin in and everything. And it was just like they used to make fun of me because like I couldn't go up alone at first when I was like getting trained and everything, because like I couldn't pull it up. Like I had to come up with my own way that I was gonna pull this thing up, just because I'm a smaller dude. But I mean I got it and everything after a while. But that was something they kind of poked at me for. But.
Yeah. Well, at least it had the sensors on there. Like the top spin, our top spin did not have any sensors on those same platforms. You know, they were 2-stage. They'd fold out forward of the arm, and then you have smaller ones that fold out towards the middle, so you can go out there and work on the universal joints on both sides of the arm. And ours, you know, we had all 4 of them, had past tense, because they don't have sensors on them. So if you leave them out and start the ride, you don't had them all anymore. You lose 1 or 2 of them at that point. And then you have to write somebody up for leaving the thing out when they start the write up. Yeah. But yeah, it's like it's one of those things. It's like even the Huss back then, you know, it's like really you guys didn't monitor that at all. Like not a limit switch, not nothing on there. Probably should have monitored that, but hindsight's 20/20.
It is.
Hindsight's always 20/20 on that stuff. I know that's because of traveling guys. It's like we wouldn't. That's just one more thing to break. It's like okay, all right.
So, how have you guys valleyed a train before? Or
Yes, many times.
Yeah,
what's your story?
Not
on
many,
that?
but yeah, I want to forget that incident as much as I can.
Wait, do you mean me personally or involved in the recovery of?
Oh, you personally.
To me personally, and the rest I was involved in recoveries.
Mm. See, I've involved in recovery of, I don't know, like 10, and made the call that valleyed 1. That was I still take that as personal, and then I personally sent over our Tavali coaster and watched it. All right. But that's the reason why my count is so high, because we valleyed that thing all the time. And it was just, you just get 8-9 people out there and just go push that thing. Just push it.
Yeah.
The bad part is you have to get that seesaw action first. You got to push it backwards and then go forwards. And then if someone trips, it's like, get out of the way.
Yeah. Time to do sketchy stuff.
Right. Make sure your orange vest is on, because you want to. When the incident report comes out, you want to say you were doing everything.
Oh, yeah. No, I haven't had that experience yet. Luckily, hopefully I never do, but I'm sure I will. But we have a SNS custom coaster, and it's great once it's warm and everything. But it like. That first time in the morning when those wheels are cold and everything, if you send it empty, it's not coming back. It's not coming back. And like, so you have to fill up the water dummies every morning just to make sure it's doing that. And that was actually one of my last things. I've been working on it for about a month now. I'm making a full software for them to where they can just put in like the temperature and then how many, like it'll show how many dummies you at least need for it to like come
To
back
keep
to
it
the station
rolling.
and everything.
Nice.
Yeah. So like, yeah. So I'm excited. I don't know. I obviously haven't tested it yet. So I'll email you and I'll tell you,
Okay.
I valued a train with my new software.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case, guess who the first person they're going to call to recover that train is? Like, that was your software. You did that so you could come out
Get
and
over
fix
here,
it,
bro.
right?
I know.
We're going to
Yeah.
lunch. You can have fun with whatever this is.
Yeah, and if that thing valleys, it likes to valley in this little pit, and it's right before like a dive loop. So like you just literally have to take off every single train one by one, and then re-put it on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's I haven't seen it, but
Yeah.
he sent me what they've had me start doing it because he sent me a video, and it looks like it goes to slow motion when it gets up here, and it's just like, oh, it's a slow motion video. Oh, that's not a slow motion video. Oh my god! Like,
Yep.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Instant
we had-
heartburn and everything else as soon as you see that. It's like, oh, once you see that, it's like, can I call in sick while it's in midair? Like, hold on.
I've worked at a couple of parks where we had one roller coaster at each one that's particularly fond of valleying. And the first one would valley so often before they got new trains for it that were lighter. Everybody would be like, oh, it valleyed again. And we'd run over there and take a bunch of pictures and stuff and watch it just chilling in the middle. And that would be it was such a big train, it would have to be de-hitched or taken apart one coach at a time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that one was just like a circuit. We weren't even like worried about it anymore. We're just like, oh, look, so-and-so valleyed it again. Woody's valley quite often too, though, if they're not warm and if they don't have the right kind of oil in the wheels and there's not enough lube on the track. And so, I mean, we have the wooden roller coaster I worked on is the only ride I've ever worked on where you send it with people on it first.
Right?
Yeah. Your Woody gets sent with people first. Like I'd work at other steel coasters, launching coasters. It's all empty, safety ride. And mine's like people, open to the public.
We did that one time. We were in it. We put our SLC back together, and it was supposed to be running the next day, and we haven't load tested it yet. So it was like we asked. I mean, we seriously kicked it around and like, can we just get, because the park was closed, and like, can we just get 20 people over here and ride this thing?
It's easier than water dummies.
It is easier than water dummies.
Or stand
they said yes, we got everybody up there, and then at the last minute, the director's like, nope, I can't do this.
Bummer.
We were like, okay, because all of us are kind of like, should we be doing, because we all had the thought like, what if it valleys? Now it's one thing when you have 20 water dummies that just sit there looking like a water dummy, but when you have like 20 of your staff on there, especially like half the maintenance department's on there, it's like there's all you have to do to piss off a maintenance guy is stick the maintenance guy in the brakes of a ride. That's all you have to do. Like, we had one guy went on a test ride. He went up there and then they stuck it in the block brakes with him in it. And he came down ready to swing on the operators. Like we physically had to separate him and send him out of the area.
Mad.
Yeah, it was super, super pissed off. I understand that. It just happened to be a random fault. It wasn't anything operations actually did. But, you couldn't no, he did. They did that. It's like, no, they didn't. But that's the way it happened, right? It's like, nope, don't injure anybody today, please.
At one of my parks, the guys stuck me on our B&M flying coaster in block break for, I was like, maybe 5 to 7 business minutes. It felt
Business minutes.
felt like forever. And then what
Yeah.
they did was they hit the e-stop on purpose. Yeah. And then I was like, you guys want to let me out of here? Because I'm like, I can't pick my
Right.
neck up anymore.
Right. You're laying there and you're downhill too. Your ankles are above your head at that point in time, just
Yeah.
sitting there with your arms hanging straight down like a zombie, like trying not to drool all over yourself in the block breaks. It's like
Totally.
not
Finally,
too
I was
much you
like,
could do
oh,
about that.
no, nothing actually, right?
Every
But
morning, when I would, so I was kind of like a switcheroo. Like I would go here or here, and I would learn. I was just like learning like basically the whole park. And when I would go do the Great Discovery, I would always just like to ride it, just because like it was just like I did everything today. I just feel like I need to ride it. You know what I mean? I want to trust my work.
aw.
And there was just this one time where I called the people and everything. So we all get like IROC certified and everything. So we're allowed to send people and stuff. So I get in and everything. He sends me. He was like, "How was it?" I was like, "It was good." He starts it again. I go again. And then he starts it again. And I go again. And he just kept doing it. He did it like 4 times in a row. And I was like, dude, all right, I'm done, man. Oh, I'm done.
See, that's
But
that's where the trust issues come in. Where I had, it's like I was out there. It's like, oh, crew wants to go ride a frisbee. It's like, oh, that's fine, go ride the frisbee. It's where park's closed. It's like whatever, go fire up the frisbee and get on it. Go for it. And they're like, you want to come up here? It's like, I'll come up there with you. I don't really want to ride it. And like, we're gonna do manual mode.
Oh, yeah.
Who's operating it? Well, that
Yeah.
guy's operating it, and I'm like, nah. Nah, 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 no. I'll be here to oversee this in this case because I know this guy. Like that manual mode will turn into a 10-minute spin fest. Like no.
the best is like when you're one of my buddies would come over and like when I was in the restraint, like they wouldn't just release it automatically. And there's a hose just perfectly right there. And then he'd just come up to me and just spray me with the hose real quick. And I was like, man, that's messed up.
Right? You're locked in. What are you going to do?
I was sitting backwards. Well, the train was in the maintenance bay, and we were doing the weekly on it. And it was a mock. I don't know if I said that. It was a mock train. So I was sitting in the seat backwards. So on my knees with my boots hanging out where people's calves would go, and then hanging over the backrest telling a funny story. And one of my coworkers came behind and shut the lap bar down on top of my calves. And I was like, and I'll tell you what you can't do. Bend your knee the other direction to get out of that. I'm all trying to take my boots off with my feet and slither them out. And they left me there for like 15 business minutes. It was super fun. Yeah. So good, go pranks, right? You gotta have fun at work.
See, I think that's like my favorite part so far is like it's a job and everything at the end of the day. And like you have so much responsibility because it's a machine. It can hurt people.
Yeah, 100%.
But like just I think that was the main thing is like I worked more hours than I probably ever have with something. And I mean, I was pulling like 15, 16-hour days. Like, it felt like I wasn't working. Like it just felt like I was like, I wouldn't say playing or anything, but like just the people I'm with and everything all the time at my job. Like it's like a magical place because I guess I grew up going to this park and everything. So it's like,
and now you're part of keeping it alive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just it's a crazy feeling, I guess.
And your coworkers are like, I don't know what it is about ride maintenance, but I've worked at 5 parks, and at all of my parks, it's always been we're like homies and help each other. There might be 1 or 2 guys that are just like, oh, I don't want to be there or whatever. But for the most part, everybody had the same mindset of enjoying working at a theme park. Like I never really, had a problem, especially as a female. I thought the guys would just be like, oh, get out of here. You don't, And I'm just like, no, I genuinely love rides and I actually know what I'm doing. And then it only took a couple days and they were like, oh, Jen's cool. So Yeah. So I feel like I earned my spot on the team, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
I feel like the
But yeah,
time you're spending with all these people too, it's just
yeah,
like they're like your family. You know what I mean? Like they
yeah.
are literally your family. That's why like I gotta shout out like those people. Like they taught me like if I asked them something, they would make sure I completely understood it before moving on. And it didn't matter what it was or anything, you know what I mean? And like to me, like that I can't give enough thanks to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hope they know they're very appreciated at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
I seriously have loved all my coworkers at all my parks. We've always been a cohesive team where we joke around, have fun, and we also in the eye of danger or whatever when there's a valley train or we got to do something crazy, and then we all come together and we're serious and we get that job done, and then we go back to being fun. So sometimes after the park opens, I just like to walk to the end of the park and back before I start working on my train rehab and just see everybody enjoying all our rides, and it's just fun to see like people riding rides, and you're like, I did that, I made that happen. You know what I mean? It's
I
special.
know.
It's a special job.
I think that's like one of my favorite parts too is like when I actually worked the last day of like the operating season. So like I was just standing there and there was like this kid who got off the ride and he was like, Are you maintenance? And I was like, yeah, this is my ride, man.
Oh,
He was just like, it's such a good ride, man. I'm so glad it's open and everything. And it's like
oh,
that's the cool part about it. You know what I mean? It's
right.
always
It's
always making people smile, I guess.
Yeah, it's genuinely rewarding, I feel like, or I wouldn't do
Absolutely.
it. I mean, it's
Absolutely.
hard on the body. It's crazy hours. Let's call a duck here. It's not a terribly high paying job, but at the end of the day, it's rewarding
Yeah.
emotionally, physically, like all kinds of stuff. So, and you get to work with rides every day.
Your
One time
job
my boss was like,
satisfaction's through the roof.
through the roof, through the roof. One time my boss was like, "Hey, after you're done riding your roller coaster, go up to the deck because there's free tacos." And I'm like, "What? I just got paid to ride rides and now you're feeding me free tacos? Forever employed." Thanks for yeah, absolutely. I'm like, best job ever.
It's the old phrase, and it does. It rings absolutely true, and I reverb this to people all the time. Is that if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And it
That's
is
classic.
it is so true because like the
It is,
14 years I spent working at an amusement park did not seem like 14 years. I'm sure there
right?
was times when it did drag on. I was just like, oh, I need to look for another job and stuff like that. But I mean, realistically, it was like the highlights of the life. It was
Yes.
so amazing to do. And then moving from working at an amusement park to working at like just a regular job where I do now, so boring,
I feel like this is what regular people do.
right? This is why I
Yeah.
come home and I talk about amusement rides
All
and
right.
stuff. That's because this is my way of giving back to myself. I guess I don't know. That
Yeah.
much.
Hey, I get where you're coming from. I do lots of like for our marketing department, they're always like, Jen, can you do this news thing? Can you be on Ghost Adventures, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I do a lot of marketing stuff for them because I'm not like the sourpuss of the team. I'm like the jovial ones who are like, yeah, we want the face of maintenance to be Jen. I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
Go
So
for it.
they give me a lot of those projects. So I'm happy about that. I don't even know where this story was headed, to be honest with you. It was something cool though. Oh my
You
gosh.
know,
Brain freeze.
Ryan, I got to give big thanks to you too, because I always wanted to be like a roller coaster engineer, and I was like, I don't know how to get like my foot in the door or anything. And I watched your one video. It was I think it was so you want to be a ride mechanic or something,
I love that
and
video.
I just I remember watching that video like 8 to 10 times, and I remember you like asking what this is and what this is, and I was like, I'm memorizing this. I'm memorizing this. And just ever since, man, it's just like I was like, this is what I want to do. Like, this is my way to get the experience. Like, I know like a lot of engineers and everything, but like a lot of them just don't have that hands-on experience. Like, and that's something that I just really wanted to have. You know what I mean? So I got to give a big thank you to you. So
Well, you're welcome. Anytime.
Aw.
I'm glad to help. I mean, that's I enjoy that part right now because of those videos that I make, and people say, I want to do this. How do I do that? And I'm like, apply, 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 apply.
Yeah.
Like literally, it's closer than you think it is. Or a lot of people later in life, it's like, okay, you might have a problem with wages just because, like Jen said, it's not a particularly high paying job. Especially because everything is on the job training. It's taught from the ground up. So there's not much you could bring, unless you're like Jen, who's gone to other parks. There's not much you could bring into a park unless it's relevant experience from another park. But it's always just like apply, just get your name out there. If they don't want to talk to you, try to find out why. It's just people apply this time of year. It's like budget's exhausted this time of year. If they lose a person, they're probably
Terrible
not
time.
going to replace
Yeah.
them until January or February. So just the way the industry is. But
You know what I also have to say about trying to become a ride mechanic, especially if you're interested in rides or already work at a park, especially like in ride ops. So many of my parks have taken ride operators and made them either apprentices in maintenance or eventually made them ride mechanics. So if your budget allows, not you or us, but maybe somebody younger, like 17, 18, that wants to get involved in it, they should at least go get a job in a park and learn the basics of ride operations and then scoot their way into maintenance. That's how I did it. And I had the plan to go in there to be a ride mechanic. So I was like, I might not have to be a ride operator very long. And it was only like maybe 3 or 4 weeks. And then they had an opening in maintenance. And I was like, slid into home plate on that one, right? But I've seen a lot of parks hire from ride ops and ride supervisors.
yep.
Mhm.
I know plenty of people that worked that came in as ride ops, and then went to ride operator, lead, supervisor, and then they changed. Like one of my good friends changed and over to maintenance, and then went from maintenance to supervisor and maintenance, and now I think he's a 2-time like park director. He's over there
Oh,
like
nice.
yeah, he's like head of maintenance and operations at a park. So it's like
Great to work out.
yeah, like yeah, if you're willing to move around too, especially like you can climb fast. For sure.
Absolutely. One of
For
my
sure.
park's prior park president started selling churros. I forget what park he worked at, but he started literally at the park he was the park president for, selling churros in a churro cart when he was like 16, and then just stuck with it and just went park president, GM park president. So you can
One
do
of
it.
the one of the questions I frequently got asked was like, so like, where did you get any like mechanic background or anything? For me, during high school, I ended up right actually during COVID, I ended up like working on bikes, and then I ended up landing a job as a bike mechanic at like a custom mountain bike shop.
Cool.
And like you just learn like all about the sprockets and like chains and everything, and like I know it's different and stuff, but there's bearings and stuff. It's just it might be a more basic, but like that was something like during my interview and everything, like I was able to like they ask you questions, you know what I mean? Like one of the
Yeah.
questions I physically got asked was like how would you fix like a hydraulic disc brake? And I was like, oh, cool. That's like what I worked on bikes. Like perfect. Like so like I would say to like anyone like looking like, oh, I'm in high school but I want to go like this route, like you can find bikes on marketplace or anything, like, and you just
Yeah.
start thinking of them and everything, you know what I mean? Like, and maybe you can, you know what I mean? It worked for me. I'm sure it would work for other people.
Yeah.
It's
Just
all
get
the
her
same
done.
stuff. It's just the size is
Different thing.
different. Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Okay, I think that's gonna do it for this video. Jen, you have anything you want to plug? Any last words?
No, just thank you for having me on your show again.
Thank you for coming.
The times I like talking about my job is being on the Ride Mechanic show and doing career days for elementary school kids.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Bo, first, thank you for coming on the show as well. Is there anything you want to plug or do anything like that before we go?
I just got to say a big thank you and everything, especially, I mean, you motivated me and everything. I've binge watched your channel and everything. So I just appreciate being a part of it at this point. So I can't thank you guys enough.
Well, thank you.
It was nice to
I
meet you, Bill.
appreciate that. Yeah, it's nice. Definitely nice talking with you and come to know you over this time. It's been great.
Absolutely.
Oh, can I add one funny thing?
Sure, go for it.
Do you know how I found your channel back in the day?
No.
I was going to do a YouTube video about a ride mechanic reacting to Final Destination 3. And because I literally hate the beginning of that movie for its inaccuracies. And I typed in ride mechanic Final Destination 3 reaction video. And you came up because it hit all of the word searches.
Right?
I
I bet.
I'm like, somebody nailed it. Let's watch. And I was like, oh my God, this is hella funny. So liked and subscribe.
Thank you. I try to keep videos on the lighter end of things because it's just like,
They're funny.
I know I can be very boring to listen to. So I try to throw in zingers in there to keep people somewhat interested.
Like your rehab one the other day was pretty hilarious in the
Oh, yeah.
beginning.
Sometimes I think about those skits and stuff, and I'm like, oh, well, if you like that one, you'll probably really like this week's video coming out. That will be,
Comedy.
I don't know, for when this comes out, it might be, I don't know, last week's or the week before last, but it's about basically loose articles on rides. So,
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah,
My least favorite ride call.
right. If so, since this will probably definitely be after that. So if you haven't seen that video, go check out that video.
I'll go watch it right now. Wonderful.
All right. I think that's going to do it. I'll do my normal. Please like, subscribe, share, do all that stuff. It does help me out. Watch another video. One of those other videos. I do appreciate it. We've had other ride mechanic roundtables out there. Go check those out there too. Jen was on my very first one, so you go see where she's progressed to from then to now. And yeah, thanks for watching, liking and subscribing, all that stuff. As always, stay off the air gates. Bye.